Welcome back to another episode of Anime While Black. I'm your host, Regina Moretto. I'm here with a very special guest, Remain, a local Houstonian cosplayer, and I am just so excited to interview her today and talk about anime and talk about cosplaying while black. So let's get into it. Hey, Remain. Hey, girl.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I normally don't put myself on videos because I have voice issues with myself, and I'm super shy, and I'm super weird, and I'm like, I'm not interesting. So I'm really excited, and like, I'm so geeked right now and awkward.
I'm geeked. I'm like trying to contain it. I'm just like, hey, but like, this is the space to be weird and geeky in because it's me, and it's like, this is a space. So, just tell our guests about some of the players. Let's start talking about how you got into cosplay first. Let's start there.
It was very easy for me to transition into cosplay. I've always been interested in dressing up, and when I walk the streets, everyone thinks everything I'm wearing is a costume anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's when I watch anime, I kind of create my own stories in my head and insert myself into those anime and to those stories anyway. So it started with me kind of developing my own characters, but they became so intimate and personal to me, I didn't want to share with people.
Yeah.
So I just started putting on the costumes of my favorite characters from the anime, the one that actually really resonated with me the most.
Yeah.
And it's almost theatrical, and it lets you, well, it is theatrical, and it allows you to kind of escape and release a lot of energy and get connected with yourself, especially when you're cosplaying these characters that you see yourself in.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
And when you're first, like, especially as a black girl, when I'm first searching and I'm interested, there's such a lack of representation.
Yeah.
Such a lack. I didn't see a lot of people that look like me, and anybody that did look like me got so heavily criticized for it.
Yeah.
So, you know what? If somebody gonna come up in here unapologetic and make this happen and show love and awareness, it's gonna be me.
Yes. Take up space, sis.
Exactly.
Did you feel in the beginning too, did you feel like almost kind of like forced into saying, okay, I can only cosplay black characters, or you're like, I'm going to cosplay whatever character I connect with regardless of skin color?
It's actually what took me so long, because there wasn't a lot of black characters to begin with, or maybe there were, and it's just I didn't really connect with them, and I kind of felt, regardless of how I felt about them, I was boxed in. That's who I had to be because of my skin tone. So it definitely hindered me in the beginning and instilled a lot of fear to even take that first step into doing it at all. Because I was really afraid, not necessarily where I let people affect my energy so much that I'm devastated. I'm just going to stop cosplaying forever with the criticism. But I was just really afraid that it would just make me not like it. Yeah. It would run me away from the community, and I already have issues being on social media as is. I really didn't need anything else. So it was just very nerve-wracking and scary to even begin. But I've actually had a lot of love.
Yeah.
And a lot of embrace. I've met a lot of amazing, great cosplayers, and the community is really tight-knit and determined on uplifting one another and sticking together. So it's actually been really great once I finally started. Once you get over that fear, that hurdle, that fear of what other people will think and what other people will say, it's so much fun. And you learn so much about yourself. You come out of your shell. It's definitely an experience I wouldn't trade, and the first step is just taking that first step.
Have you met up with any pre-corona? Have you met up with any other cosplayers here in Houston?
No, I have not. I'm such a recluse and I'm a homebody. I don't go anywhere. Like, I've only been meeting them online once I began, and I've actually built really great connections with a lot of people. And we're like, once this corona is over and this quarantine is over and we can get back out there, I'm actually really ecstatic to actually finally go to cons and meet up with people. And I've
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to, but crowds freak me out. So I
Yeah.
just never actually did it. I just watched from afar, looking at photos all longing and lovingly, but I definitely look forward to it. And it's something that I definitely want to do. Like
I
as
feel
soon as
like
possible.
social anxiety is like something common amongst creators. And I'm kind
Mhm.
of noticing it a lot too amongst Black creators in this space. It's like, how do we even navigate this space that, you know, there's gatekeepers, like there's people who are there that are like, no, you can't be here, you can't play that character because of your skin tone. And it's something that for me, when I haven't cosplayed before. I've always been interested in it. I love watching other people cosplay and stuff, but it's just for me, it's always been an interesting thing to, when I started becoming interested in it, to see all of the like the negativity behind it. Like there's it's just kind of like weird that in a space with for nerds, for like geeks, for people who have, you know, like just like social anxiety and are looking for this way to bond through something that like is super fun and super supposed to be for everybody, then to have in the community people that are just like, oh no, you can't be here, or this is like, why don't you just cosplay the few Black characters that there are? Well, now there's a lot more Black characters, but it's like, it's very interesting to see the dynamic of like those types of the racial gatekeepers who are like, you have to play only these kind of characters. And it's like, well, if that's the case, you shouldn't get to play any characters either. You know, like it's Japanese anime. Like it's not, if anything, it's not for anybody but them, you know? So it's just been interesting seeing that. And like I saw some posts online where, you know, Black creators have their characters, and most of the comments are from like either like white or Asian people, but American. It's not Japanese people saying, oh, you can't play this character. I've seen a lot of support actually from some of the writers and creators of anime for Black characters doing cosplay. And I'm just like, oh, that's really cool, you know, to see that they even notice. But how do you feel in this space? Like, what do you feel about creating in this space? Are you more driven? Does it like sometimes kind of trip you up and like kind of make you feel like
It's definitely one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. Why let anybody stop you from having fun?
mm-hmm.
So if they don't want us in our spaces, we've always been very good at creating our own space.
Yeah.
And no one likes to be excluded.
Yeah.
So when they don't want us in their space, we create our own space, and they're like, hey, but what about us?
Yeah, like why is there a Black cosplay space? And it's like, well, first you didn't want us to play with you. Now that we're playing amongst ourselves, it's like, well, you can't have your own group. It's so
Yeah,
childish.
it's very easy for them to see themselves in
Mm-hmm.
these animes because of the pale skin. So it's very easy for them to fall into those roles and for people to feel like they're more accurate because they have the fair skin or they have the pale skin. And when they see our dark skin or brown skin, all of a sudden they just can't fathom like Itachi isn't Black. That doesn't make sense. I can't tell who that is just because of your skin. No, you can have every other character down, no matter how on point your skin is gonna always throw you
It's
off.
like you see the wig, you see the costume, you see the outfit, you see the makeup, and you're like, who is this? Like, seriously? Like
But I never really let it get to me like I thought it would. Like
mm-hmm.
I said, that fear before you begin, you fear that that's going to happen, but it actually never really bothered me.
Once
Like
you
I
take
think a
that
lot of
leap,
people, yeah, you're in this space and you just become so unbothered because you're
yeah.
more focused on your joy, your peace, your happiness. Like they don't even matter. And then when you have this community come together and y'all are just loving and y'all just living it up, living your best life together. Like, none of that stuff even really matters.
Yeah.
Um,
You're gonna, after Corona, you're gonna have to help me do my first cosplay.
love to. I tell everybody, like, just go for it. A big thing for me was the expense. When I would search for my first cosplays that I want to do, I'm creating all these lists. It was so expensive.
Yeah.
To keep this up consistently, and you like $40 for this costume, $60 for this, and you got to get all these accessories and everything. I never thought I would be able to do it because it's so hard to keep up with. People have gone broke trying to keep up with this. Like, you have to. You feel so many roles once you finally start cosplaying. You become an MUA, you start styling wigs, you start doing effects, you're editing photos, you build this community within your own space, and you kind of become like a counselor when you're engaging with people. So many different hats, and you learn so much about yourself. Like, you will surprise yourself and impress yourself.
Wow.
And you're gonna learn so much about yourself when you finally do it. And it wasn't cool before because Black people we don't have the luxury to have these pastimes and these hobbies.
Yeah.
If in our community they feel like it's not getting you anywhere, they don't understand it. They're like, "What's the point of this?"
I'm like, "What are you doing? That's weird."
You can watch these made-up movies with these make-believe stories, but we can't watch animated versions.
Yeah.
Like, it's so parallel. Anime is so parallel to real life. Like, past 5 anime that I've been watching, even older, still like make sense today. I'm like, that's what's happening today.
What anime are you watching right now?
I'm watching. It's called Claymore.
Okay.
If you're interested in kind of like Castlevania, like the old school Castlevania, and kind of like the Yu Yu Hakusho kind of feel to it. You like those kind of anime. I think that you really enjoy. It's actually really good. I didn't think I would like it, but the main male supporting character, I recognize his voice, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. And when you're not gonna give it away, but when you hear his voice,
yes,
voice, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna have to give this a shot.
What network are you watching it on?
Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. Okay, yeah. Hulu has a lot.
I'm going straight down the list on Hulu A through Z, watching all the dubbed anime. I watch sub anime, but I'm multitask so much that I ain't got time to read. So I prefer dub when I kind of have a lot of things going on. I don't have to pay as much attention, and I can do sub when I'm just chilling. I'm kicked back. I just got my snacks. I got time to read and focus on the screen. But I'm definitely more of a dub girl than I am a sub girl.
I like both, but I'm more of a sub girl just because, like, I like the Japanese voice actors. It kind of gives me that, like, it feels more richer for the story. There have been some times where, like, I'm not, like, prejudiced against, like, dub either, because there's some people who are just purists who are like, subtitles only, and it's just like, seriously, I'm gonna get my anime any way I can get it. So but when it comes to that, I feel like if I started in sub, it's hard for me to watch it in dub. Like, there's some seasons, like, have you ever watched Psyche K on Netflix? He's got pink hair.
Like one of my favorite anime. Yes.
I love it. It's so silly, but I love it. I love it. I love that the translation in the English, the dub, is like very, very, very good. It gives you his deadpan, like, kind of cynical voice, gives you that character's personality for Psyche. So I like when it's like it matches, like, the kind of character aesthetic. I don't like when you have, like, a character who in Japanese, like, has a kind of deep voice, very more serious, and then you get him and translate it into
It's
English.
12 o'clock.
Thanks, Siri. You get him in English, and he's, like, kind of, like, high-pitched, overly excited. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, you don't match what I've been listening to, so that kind of sucks. Like, Samurai Champloo, I've watched it first in dubbed. No, subbed. So I was watching it in Japanese first, and then when I started watching the episodes in English, I was like, I can't throw the whole show away. I can't. I'll just wait till I find some more in the subtitles, because the voices of the characters didn't match, and I'm already like connected to them with that. And so hearing them in English, I was like, why do you sound like a 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles voice? Like, this is not matching your character at all. Like, who did the casting for this? So that's what I get prejudiced about it.
Now, I'm exactly the same way. I believe, like, it can go either way. Like, if I start off on dub, sometimes it doesn't transition well to sub, and vice versa. But I know one of the ones for me was Bleach, and I believe I watched that first dubbed. So then when I tried to watch it subbed, I can't remember. I just know I watched it one way first, and then when I tried the other way, I did not like it. Like, the voices was weird to me, and it just felt it felt like a lot sillier.
Yes, and it can be cringy. Like, it's just like, and even vice versa, because like I watched Inuyasha in English all the way through, and so then I was like, let me watch it, sub. I was just like, nope. This is not Inuyasha. That's not Kagome. Like, I'm like, Monica's story is Kagome for me. Like, that's it. Like, so yeah,
Psyche, because that's a fast paced, and like, it's so much going on. I could not keep up with that and sub. I was like, I can't do it.
A lot of people are turned off to it because of that, how fast the dialogue moves.
So I don't think, if they don't dub it, I'm not sure if I'll ever finish. I might give it a try, but it's one of those, it's too hard to follow, and this background stuff going on when he's talking, like, I can't do that one.
I feel like, not to be all nerdy, but Psyche K is definitely an anime for smart people. Like, you have to be able to like stay with it because it moves fast. It has a lot of double entendres, like hidden humor, layers to it, like sarcasm, quick wit. It's like he'll like shade a character and then move on. It's like really, really quick. Like, you're just like, did you just say that? And even the characters interacting with each other. There's this episode where the like rich kid is first introduced, and he's pulling all these pranks on all of the main cast, and because he's rich. And there's this point. This is so childish of me, and like, me and my kids love this episode. Like, we rewatched it last night because of it. No, the night before last. Where Nindo, the one with the like kind of ball sack chick. So like, they're all talking about how like all this weird stuff has been happening to them. Like, most of the kids, they're like, our parents got a job in Siberia because like the rich kid bought the company that these kids worked at. And he's trying to isolate everybody so he can get to the main girl or whatever. And then Nindo's like, yeah, the Jump magazine I bought last night, 3 of the pages back to back had boogers on them. And I was like, why? And so I was like, that's not something this rich kid would do. And so when he walks into the room and hears them complaining, he's like, did you get the gift I sent you? And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. It's hilarious. I'm so childish. I can't even make it past the story. Every time I put it on, I start crying.
I do want to finish watching it like so bad, and I was really excited when they put up the new episodes, and I saw it was sub, and I was like, there's no possible way I'm not gonna be able to do this. So we'll see. I might give it a try, because you got me excited. Excuse.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little lag. I hope I'm not cutting you off. But like, what other anime do you like?
One of my favorites is definitely Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
I like K.
Ooh.
Obviously, I like Naruto. I do like Dragon Ball Z, but I prefer Cell Saga. I don't know why he doesn't get a lot of love. Nobody talks about Cell ever, but that was the best. Not that I ain't care about nothing else. Like, the Cell was the best, and that was Bae to me. Like, I always like the weird people and like the weird stuff, and I was like, that's Bae. Like, we can get it all up now.
That's so funny.
I I like the quirky ones I've been seeing. The
Mm-hmm.
kind of weird, like Gintama.
Mm-hmm.
That was another quirky, strange one for me. And
Yeah.
each episode, I was like, why am I still watching this? What is happening? I love haiku. I never thought I would like sports anime, but I like
Yes.
haiku.
It was good. It's good.
I like Hikaru no Go. I was like, why am I
Mm-hmm.
watching this? Why am I watching him play Go right now? But my
Yes.
adrenaline would pump, and I was rooting. I was actually rooting for him, and I was falling in love with the characters. So
Yes.
I could pretty much down with. I haven't seen an anime so far that I have actually liked.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There are some that I kind of just can't get behind. I'm finding like I'm so weird because when you said there's certain kind of characters that you like, I'm like, I've noticed I probably like every white hair character that comes out. It doesn't matter skin tone. If they have white hair, it's it. And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong? What is this?
Like when they're like clink when they straighten them glasses. That
yes.
I'm so
Or the glasses. That's so funny. There is a show called Meteor Shower on Netflix, and it's not based. Well, it's a Chinese teen melodrama that's based on a Japanese teen melodrama soap that was based on an anime. I don't know, but it's basically a remake of a remake of a remake. And it's so funny because like it has those moments that are kind of nods to moments in an anime. And I just get so geeky over it. It's like, I'm gonna have to send it to you separate and I'll probably post it so that other followers can see it. It's really good. If you want to see a really good production of a, I guess, harem style anime with one girl central character, several guys, but it's like, it's not cheesy. And it's 54 freaking episodes. It's like one, and it's like, they did a really good job. Really good job. But they have that. I was like, I know they didn't just do this in real life. I know they did not just do this in real life, but yes.
You had me at harem and 54 episodes. Like, yes. I'm a binge girl, and when it has 12 episodes, I get so disappointed that it's over so quickly. So.
No, it's got 54 episodes. It gives you all of the feels you want, like all the guys like her. Then there's the two main protagonist guys that used to be best friends and now they're split between this girl. I like that. Kind of similar to anime, instead of her being just kind of like the weak feminine character, she's super, super strong and super, super clever. And she also has the same notes of like wanting everybody to be okay, like she's that selfless kind of female heroine character where it's like she does things even if it puts herself in danger, or she tries to make sure all her friends are happy at the exclusion of what makes her happy. So it's got a lot of good themes and it's a good show. The characters are cute too. So
I'm definitely up for suggestions because sometimes I'm looking through that A through Z list blind sometimes. Just
you know what? I love Hulu because when I first started noticing that they were putting anime in there, I came across some and I was like, oh, these are not safe for work. Like, y'all just got this in the public anime section. Somebody's kids could come across this. I was like, you know what, Hulu? Thank you for all this anime content, but y'all gotta censor some of this. Like, make it like a kid's account cannot access these. But it was so funny because there's some good stuff in there. I think I'll make a list for you. Like, do you like dark anime?
I like yes.
I mean, because I can do harem anime too. There's Fruit Baskets is in there. I don't like the remake. I like the first one. It's in there. It's really cute.
I just watched Fruit Baskets. So
which year did you watch?
I don't remember. I do not remember.
Because like there's the redraw and they changed some of the character like personality types. If you watch the first one, it's so much better versus the new one. They made these characters a little bit like cringy, and I'm just like, why did y'all do that? Like, why mess with a classic? Nobody needs to redo it.
But Hulu, so the Hulu have like whichever
Hulu has
one?
both of them. It has both Fruit Baskets in there. Both.
Is it like the 90s?
One is 90s-ish, like in the drawing, but it is, I want to say 2008. And then the newer one is like 2015-ish.
I don't remember which one I watched. I'm going to have to check and see which one now.
Okay. Yeah. What else? Recommend some anime for me. Or circling back, what anime has inspired you for new characters to cosplay?
Oh shoot. I have I've been going down the list so quickly. Like I literally been writing notes to go back to so I can delve more into that specific character. Like I've been writing down, making notes like if I like the theme song for that one in particular and everything, but I cannot for the life of me recall like the name of the most recent ones that I've just watched.
Okay.
But I'm definitely going to do more character. I'm definitely going to touch on Bleach. That's for sure.
Who do you want to play from Bleach?
I like Grimjow.
Okay.
He's my favorite. I kind of wanted to do Urahara, but I might do him. Like everyone wants me to do Yoriichi because I'm black, and anytime I ask anyone to suggest any character, that's one of the first ones that they suggest. I would love to do Pain from Naruto.
Yeah,
that's my favorite character. Like Naruto and Pain definitely resonate a lot with my own perspectives with pain and love and suffering and knowing love through pain or knowing pain through love. I don't feel like you can really know love without pain. So all his philosophies, I was like, yes, you make so much sense. And he's badass regardless.
I would like to see you do Pain. Have you seen, did I ask you before, if you watch RDC World, like how they do all their anime stuff?
Sounds familiar. I think that you did mention it when we spoke.
I know, like when we were talking before.
You did. You did mention it. Yeah.
Yes. They do Pain too. I want to see your take on Pain. Like that would be very, very interesting because I haven't seen a lot of women do Pain. It's always guys.
Really?
So that would be cool.
I've only seen a few too. So I definitely make sure to keep that on my list. I was a little intimidated by it because I've been researching, trying to see how I would bring it to life. I don't even know how we even do the piercings. Like I've been trying to research how I would do that. But it's definitely one that I've always wanted to do. I love Killua. I'll probably do him from Hunter x Hunter. That's one of my favorite anime. Black Clover, I'll probably do an original character of my own of the Black
Canary, huh?
You said what?
I said not Canary, huh?
Like Canary for me, when I first did Canary, it was because I washed my hair was going to be out, and I was thinking, who can I cosplay? Well, I already got all this 4C, like
yes,
up and ready to go. And when I got into that character, it didn't do anything for me. It was like one of the more. It's probably because I get real thought-like when I do my cosplay. I get very
she's the opposite.
And I get really weird and like my tongue's out and I'm crawling around and like looking possessed and stuff. So it was very weird for me to compose myself. Yeah. I just did not connect with that character at all. And I love her so much in anime, but it was just, I don't think I'll ever do an impulsive cosplay ever again. It was
like that again.
It was not fun for me at all. And like I criticized myself so much for it. Everybody else loved it, but I'm like, this is not gonna ever happen again. Thank you. I appreciate it, but it was insane. It was a mess. Not happening.
Like, it's gotta be for you, it's gotta be that underlying connection of something like your personality in it And so like for Canary, she's too contradicting and restrictive for you to be able to be like, yeah, I can do this, you know?
Yes, like I need to flub my arms, I need to do back bends, I need to be able to jump and like just get weird and crazy. So it's definitely a way that I choose my cosplays is based on my personality meshing with their personality. If I can actually really bring them to life, because it's just a lot easier for me. And I'm
Yeah.
already really awkward with taking photos. Like I can't do that sexy stuff. I got like a resting bitch face. Like I can give you weird and creepy, or I can give you just resting bitch face. That's all I got. Excuse me. That's why even doing Aries was a challenge for me because she's such a character. She's cutesy. I'm shy, but I'm it just doesn't show on my face. I look mean. Like I'm trying to look cute and I just look mean.
Well, I like I saw like there's different pictures. I'll probably on the video version of this of our podcast that'll go on YouTube. Then I'll be able to edit in some of your cosplays and your pictures and stuff like that. I feel like you bring a lot to the characters that you do portray, and like even like you said, like in the face, your expressions, you bring it to life. But like I feel Canary, I haven't seen your Canary. I think did I see your Canary? But yeah, I just knowing and chatting with you, I'm like it's a force. Like Canary, I don't even know if I could do Canary. I like Rihanna as Canary. Like when I saw that like old like photo shoot, I was like, is she supposed to be Canary? Like, is this? I really low key feel like that's what she's trying to do without saying it. So I was like, but it's like, I mean, down to like the suit, the serious face. Finding a screen grab of Canary on the internet is what kind of made me even become interested in Hunter x Hunter. I was like, oh, there's a black girl character on this show. I want to watch it. And so I went, and it's like a while before I even get to Canary. So I had time to fall in love with like Gon and Killua and even Hisoka, where there's this kind of debate right now. Is he like a pedophile or what? And I'm just like, kind of looking like it.
We'd have to debate so many anime if that were the case. All these anime are pervy,
yes.
borderline, pedophilic, like
yeah.
We just and that's it's so reoccurring that when we do cosplay, I know a lot of people they kind of get defensive, they get offended, they have issues with especially black women, black girls, well, women, because what I'm about to say is for women, for grown women, not for little girls. When we do cosplay, but that's what the anime are like. It's boobs, butts.
Yeah, they make those characters real thick, and then when you see a character that's thick doing it, it's like, okay, so this is what you like. You can't be mad about it. Like this is what it is.
And because it's drawn and it's animated, they feel like it's for children. So when you get adults in that space and doing the lewd cosplay, they get so upset. And I'm like, if you don't want to see it move around, you don't have to be here.
I feel like it goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, and like this show is to talk about race. So I feel like this plays on the over sexualization of Black women. And so with us claiming our sexuality and playing these characters, people are going to be offended because when they see Black women being sexual, in their mind, it's aggressively sexual, versus when a person of lighter skin plays these characters, then it's just like, oh, it's cute, it's sexy, it's role playing, it's that. But when Black women do it, it's like, oh my God, it's indecent, it's too much, it's thoughty, like you were saying. And it's like, I've even noticed with like light-skinned Black girls that play it, like there's a little bit of space that they allow because of skin tone of like acceptability, versus for darker skinned women, it's just like, oh my God, blah, 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 you know. And I'm just like, can we just be? Can we just be? Can the characters just exist, you know?
For darker skinned Black women, you even see it in the anime, you see it in a movie, they don't really promote our femininity. Mm-hmm. We're always strong, we're always muscular. And when you look at the music videos, it's that over sexualization, that's all they see.
Mm-hmm.
So when we bring it into this space, for us, they're not able to separate those things.
Mm-hmm.
This is all that's being pushed in their face. And you have the standard for what beauty is and for what soft and supple and femininity is, and it's lighter skin, it's fairer skin.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they fix their bodies to look like the thicker black women that they're criticizing, somehow it's still accepted.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like it's anything it's gonna take a lot of time. I don't even feel like it's changing at all.
Oh.
We talk about it a lot, and I see it in the spaces, and I see it being defended a lot. And I know black women are owning their sexuality more, especially their femininity, but it still doesn't seem like it's being as accepted in a world that's so body positive at this point.
Yeah.
And that's fighting for everybody's right to be themselves and express themselves. It still feels like we're at the bottom scraping and struggling, because at the end of the day, no one really fights for black women in that way. We can fight for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
We expect it, but nobody really fights for us, and we always kind of get left out. And I'm kind of more the unpopular opinion, so it gets very difficult to talk about these things because nobody really wants to hear it. Nobody really wants to believe it. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. They see one person and they're like, well, look at this person. I'm like, because one person got elevated to that position doesn't mean it's carrying all of us with them.
Right.
Give you that one person to kind of give them that argument. Like,
yeah.
Well, this black president, what do you mean that you're oppressed?
Yeah, I've seen that argument for so many things in my life. Like, literally in my lifetime, it's like, because this person did it, that means it's easy for everybody. It means, but it's like, literally, do you see that's the one person existing in that space? So you can't say because they did it that it means the doors are open for everybody. You have no idea what that person did to get through to that space, to get to that door open for themselves. And the unfortunate thing about the Black community historically is just because someone got in there does not mean they're going to turn back and open the door for others, versus that I feel like we would be so much more further in society if we were that way to like look back and help others. I feel like where we're at now socially and consciously, we are working on that. And especially in the Black anime and cosplayers space, we are so supportive of each other in our talent, our crafts, our artistry. Even with me starting the podcast, I've been able to reach out to people like you, and it's so many people, and everyone's like embracing and receptive, like, yes, welcome, be here. What can I do to help you? But me not aging myself, but being a little bit older, that wasn't always the case. It's like when someone makes it, they're so afraid of losing that spot, and that they're so happy to be there that they're intimidated by that non-Black group of peers, that if they let someone else into that space, it's going to mess it up for them. And it's just like that. I mean, I almost feel in some regards that Black people can be their own gatekeepers. We were even talking about this before in our like little personal chat, and I want to open this up to you. Like, we were talking about Meg Thee Stallion, and I think, did you ever get to see her live that she did like a long time ago, like probably when she was first like coming onto the scene and like making it like kind of being noticed as a rapper, but as a huge anime fan? And it was so many Black guys like on her Twitter, on her Instagram, kind of gatekeeping, like, oh, you're just wearing those t-shirts because you got it at Forever 21, or, you know, just basically trying to say she's not a real anime fan because she's a Black girl, that she's just doing it because it's on trend. But like, what did you witness that? Because I remember witnessing it and being like, seeing her having to go on a live having these like weird dudes ask these questions, and she's answering them like a fucking anime encyclopedia. Like the girl knows her stuff. Like me and you sitting here talking, we're like, I watched this show, I forgot the name of it. Like I know both of us, like we were talking about how we watch so many anime that sometimes I'm like, I forgot the name of the show, but if you put the title up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, the characters, the plot. But off the top of my head, I'm like, I watch way too much anime to just, and versus she is literally on that level with everything. Like she watches a lot of anime, knows the characters, knows the plots, knows the seasons, and has anyone ever tried to gatekeep you like that, whether they're black or white, whatever race, and just be like, oh, do you know this in season 3, episode 27, second marker, 3 minutes in and 36 seconds. What did the character say?
It's not something that happened more recently, but I'm very careful about engaging online as is, because through text things get so misconstrued, and I had to learn it the difficult way, which is what made me back off so much from it. But previously, even before social media became like such a hot topic, they definitely made me feel like maybe I was some sort of perpetrator, because I wasn't recalling things the same way that they recall or forget things. And it's like when you consume so much, and then all same recurring voice actors, like all sound the same, and everything kind of starts running together. And they make like, it doesn't mean I like it any less than you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I it's stored up here. It's just gonna take me a little time to get to it. So they definitely, people just always try to find something to be pissed off about. So it's very impressive that she actually can recall that. And as a Black woman, especially if they find you attractive, it just doesn't make sense to them that you'll be into that. Like, you're supposed to be nerdy, geeky, dorky, like
undesirable.
Yeah, whatever stereotype they found and whatever movies they watch. I don't know. I can see why, especially with social media so rampant. Like, you never know what's real or what's fake, and a lot of people are performative. So they will definitely do it because they know it works. Like, I would see girls, they don't know anything about Pokemon, but they'll put on some Pokemon panties and socks because they know it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get it how you live. That ain't my business. Like, do what you know.
It's a quarantine going on. People gotta make money.
Nobody. So I feel like I saw a little bit of it, and I feel like she handled it well. And she really didn't have to explain herself. She really didn't have to put herself in that position. She didn't really have to explain herself either, but she did it like a boss.
Yes.
Yes, and it's now what, because regardless of however she does it, they're never going to be satisfied. Because even if they resolve that issue, they're just going to find another issue anyway. So
yeah. So what do you have coming up next? And then I don't want to take too much of your time, but like, this was like so fun. So tell me, what other characters or what do you have coming up next that you're going to be doing that we can all check into and see creatively?
Should it be a surprise? Should I really like just say it right now? Tell us. The next one I have is it's an original character. It's like a Neko school girl. I'm gonna do a dark Chun-Li. That's actually probably the next one. I'm trying to find a character that I connect with so much that it can be reoccurring, because it will save me a lot more money if I can just smack on that same wig, that same hair, just switch up the outfits out my closet, keep it casual, keep it funky, keep it cute. And that's kind of what I was doing with Aries, to see if I could get that comfortable with her and allow that to be like her to have that spot, but I'm not sure that's going to work. I kind of have a couple. They're kind of more. There's more OC, kind of looty. There's no theme to it. It's one of those things where you just kind of smack it on and see what happens. Yeah. It's just, you got fishnets and you got harnesses, so what's not to love about that? And I think so far that's my main lineup right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Nisa, that's the one I've been wanting to do for. Death Note is one of my favorite anime, and I've been wanting to do Misa for so long, but I discovered her along that time when I was, do I have to be this accurate? Is
Mm-hmm.
it good to read well? So I kind of put her on the back burner, but I was like, I saw a lot of people doing it. Well, a handful, maybe 3 or 4 Black girls who did it,
Mm-hmm.
and they just did it. Like, they just went for it. They owned it. They didn't have to get the exact dress that she had on. They didn't have to.
Right.
So it made me more comfortable and confident. That's why I love being in this community, to get inspired by so many different people, that I think I'm gonna go for it. And
Go for it.
I'm like,
Do
I was actually gonna dress up as Misa today, but I haven't tried on the wig yet. So
it.
I was gonna look a mess, and I just hope people know that it's all love. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not in competition with my sisters, and
Yeah.
it's because I did a cosplay, and someone wanted to play off of that cosplay,
Mm-hmm.
but when they mentioned it, I could, like, there was some trepidation there, like maybe they felt like they were gonna step on my toes, or
Mm-hmm.
like try to steal my thunder or something, and I'm like, go for it,
Yeah.
baby. Like, I love to see it.
Yeah.
I
We
love
love
to
to
see
see
it. And
it.
I'm over here standing fans. Like, I'm a fan of a fan. Anybody that tells me that they're a fan of mine or they love me, I'm like, I love you just as much. And that's all I
Yes.
want to do. It's just uplift and embrace and make us feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Give us a safe space to be ourselves and express ourselves how everybody else can. Like, this space is for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and all these gatekeepers,
Can disappear.
they're just happy people ain't you. What do they say? Like, happy people ain't hating, or hating people. How
Yeah.
do you know?
I don't remember the quote, but I know what you're trying to get at. It's like, yeah, happy people don't have to hate or something
Happy
like
people
that.
ain't hating, and hating people ain't happy.
Yeah, that makes more sense than what I said. Oh my goodness.
Involved with pop culture, and like, I don't know.
So, I mean, is this look right now already kind of like the premise to your dark Chun-Li, not black Chun-Li, dark Chun-Li vibe?
No.
No. Because I saw the wristbands and I was like, is she just doing her own thing? And like in my mind, I'm like running through a million anime characters, like red headband, the wristbands. I was like, and you're like, no, I just woke up like this. Like, seriously, I put this on, sis. This is just for today.
Purchase these bands actually were for that specific cosplay, and I just put them on. I saw them on my show, and I was like, how can I kind of dress this look up?
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched your the previous podcast that you did, and y'all were speaking on like culture and a culture appropriation. And when I first purchased this dress, the first thing I thought was putting my hair up in a bun and then doing chopsticks.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stopped and I sat back and I thought about it, I was like, why? Because that's so obvious. That's what's expected. And it made me sit back and really, I prefer to be original.
Yeah.
And it made me really stop and think about how other people in that position, because there was already a lot of conversation with culture appropriation going on. And I
Especially
didn't
this
want
week.
anybody to feel like I was being disrespectful because I was doing something that would be so obvious, and especially because I already do costumes. I didn't
Yeah.
want them to feel like I threw it on as a costume.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was actually supposed to have like a mohawk because I've never seen anybody do chin orgasm with something like a mohawk.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah, so I was like trying to stray away from all the buns and things. So um I love that style. Like, I
Yeah.
really
I
do.
love that you even
And
put that thought of sensitivity into it.
yeah, like anytime I go to do my cosplay, I try to make sure that at the very least I can do is
Mm.
understand
Yeah.
the culture. It doesn't take much